In 2003 we started the mobile debate in Denmark, and you know, all the natural things came, or the journalists were writing a lot in the beginning, but then they were muzzled, and they were just shut down and told, you're not going to write about this again. So everything was suppressed once again. Then in 2007 I was presented to a movie, actually, which was made in 2003, called Control Factor. And you know, I've known about you for many years, and just found out you were living in Norway. That was great, because I thought you were in Lapland somewhere, difficult to find, and we couldn't read Finnish or anything. So I was very happy, and we saw this movie yesterday. But what do you think about is it true what is inside? Is it a movie, or is it a documentary, or what is it?
I would say it's a documentary made as a movie. Hollywood is always used by the elite to show the truth. Movies like Enemy of the State or Eyes Wide Shut, or this one, Control Factor, they actually show the truth, but it's made into a movie. So people can say, oh, that was just a movie, it was science fiction. Now this shows how mind control works at its worst. How people are implanted. Of course, in this movie, the implantation is very gross, with a big injection into your back of the head. Today it's 2 micromilli to 15 micromilli. The hair diameter is 50. So you can get it with a handshake, or with an injection into your ear or eyes or brain, or wherever. So in this respect, this is old-fashioned technology, but the idea is correct. You're implanted with a microchip, and after that they take total control remotely with data systems, with supercomputers, and they can all take all your feelings and change them. Love into hate, hate into love, change your sexuality, and they control you totally. They can make you into a mass murderer, or they can make you to murder your own wife or child or husband or the whole school class, which happens. So the movie really shows the truth, and it shows that they always use somebody who is closest to you. Like in this movie, it was the wife working against the husband without the husband knowing at all. The wife, of course, was controlled already, and by the elite, the secret services, etc. And the same thing was with Meryl Streep's film about Manchurian Candidate. She was saying, the first film was in the 50s with Frank Sinatra, but this was now a few years ago. And there was the mother of the son who was programming the son, because she wanted him to be the president of the US. And it ended up that the son killed the lady without realizing what he was doing. So they take away your memory with the system which is called EDOM, electronic dissolution of the memory. And they can beam you with RIC system, which is radio hypnotic control. It's a remote control. And you become a biological robot. You have to obey. And this film shows it so greatly that they go and shoot just anybody who happens to be there, because they were programmed to do that. It's terrifying, it's very negative, but it's very educational if you realize that it's true in essence, not as a story, but in essence. This is what they're doing to us. Do we want that? No, nobody wants that. Nobody, except those dealing with it, who want to have total control of human beings. And if you kill your dearest family members, for instance, then you are in total control, because you're doing it without your permission and without your will. And it starts by you're hearing voices, and the voices are saying, you know, you have to kill, you have to kill. That's exactly what happened with the Foreign Minister of Sweden, Anna Lindh. There was this Yugoslav young man who said that he just heard a voice that God was saying that you have to kill, you have to kill, you have to kill. And he had to do it. So, of course, he is a murderer. But I think the much worse murderers are those who programmed him to murder. And usually it's CIA or secret services. And then you have to ask who benefits. The person or organization that benefits is behind and gives orders to secret services to program, and the programming can go on for a couple of years, many months anyway, and then the person becomes a biological robot, and you flash a color, yellow for instance. Yellow and orange are their colors. You say a number, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 9, 12, 13, 21, whatever, and that changes your brainwaves to a certain frequency, which takes the programming on, and then you become this robot. And it can be also a sentence in a book, like this Chapman who killed John Lennon. It was Salinger's, what's it called, something on the Rye. This book had some covered sentences that were used for mind control, and when he read that, he went to the other personality and killed John Lennon. And why was he killed? He was singing about love and peace. And they don't want peace, and they don't want love, which is ridiculous. It's terrifying. It's, that people who are steering this world don't want peace and don't want love, because that doesn't bring them money and power. That has to change.
It's, I was kind of shocked when I saw this movie, because, excuse me, this is what I've been saying for 4 years, and it was just confirming, because I don't see it as a movie either. I see, this is really a study. Excellent. But there's these two documents called Total Population Control and Mind Control with Silent Sounds. Also about everything what's in the movie, where they take the EEG and they beam it up from mobile masts, and everything can be done, and they have catalog emotional and what they do with frequencies and so. I have this little small device. It's a frequency generator, and if I put it on a certain frequency, I can influence the neighborhood to go into a certain mode. That means if I put it in the alpha state, people will become very relaxed, creative, and more synchronized with the earth and so. And they say they had no influences. The wireless stuff don't influence the brain and so. But I can do it with a little homemade device. I can make people feel good, because of course I'm not into this to make them feel bad, because I will hit myself again.
Right. Yeah, when you can do it with a small device, think what they can do with all the mobile masts, all the power grids, all the power lines. I mean, we're really in an electronic warfare which is going on. People are talking about a third world war. Without realizing, it's going on every single day. Against children, against the next generation, against the civilian population. So how can these men, it's mostly men, also women, but mostly men, because that's military, how can they really do that? And they say, well, we do that for experimenting. Like with HARP in Alaska, which is the most powerful weapon of the world. So an admiral was asked, I read the interview myself, that, do you know what you're doing when they are shooting up electromagnetic fields into the ionosphere? He said, no, we don't know the results, but we are experimenting. So they're experimenting with the planet Earth and with our people, without knowing what happens. And of course the happenings are very, very negative.